All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Movie Talks and Chill. We are your hosts. I'm Tony Serrato.
I'm Gavin Butts.
I'm Betch Wall.
And in this episode, Patrick, would you like to tell us what we're talking about today?
Sure. Today, with the at the time of this recording, next weekend is NFL football kickoff.
Football!
And then about a month later, we're getting hockey back and we're getting basketball back.
I don't care about that.
Football!
Football!
Hockey!
And it's also the baseball playoffs start in October.
Finally, they're done.
Oh, yeah.
Go Rays.
If you're still in it,
Yeah.
at the time of this recording, we have no idea.
So glad
to be
we
fair,
finally
even
catch the
after
end.
this recording, we still won't know if the Rays are in it.
No.
So we figured we would, last year or the year before, we've been doing this for a while. We've talked about sports movies, we've talked about football movies, but, there's just so many movies out there. We wanted to talk about the lesser known movies, like Your Goon, or Balls of Fury, or Basketball Diaries. Apparently that's a movie.
Or basketball.
Yeah.
That one's pretty well known,
Basketball.
Gavin. We're not...
Yeah,
But
but
I
that's pretty damn obscure.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll talk about basketball all day long, but
It was in Obscure Sports Quarterly.
that was dodgeball.
We can talk about dodgeball!
Football!
Football!
So yeah, that's what we're talking about today.
All right, then. So would you like to kick it off?
Sure. So, I mean, when I think of obscure sports movies, dodgeball is one of the first things that comes to mind. But I'm pretty sure we've talked about that one to death in every other sports movie episode we've done.
Yeah, well, you know.
So I'm gonna have to go with Balls of Fury. It's just it's the weirdest fucking ping pong movie I've ever seen. Like, there's a prophecy. There's Christopher Walken. There's like, he's an SNL comedian, and he's like, well, he just starts counting out the words. Oh yeah, that's a haiku. And he's like, oh, by the way, it's not a riddle. The address is on the back of the paddle. Like, it's the Chinese guy from. He's in so much stuff. Big Trouble in Little China. He was the bad guy in that movie.
He was
Okay,
the duck
yep.
in Kung Fu Panda.
Yep.
Or voiced the duck.
Yeah. He was Poe's dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was in Everything Everywhere All at Once. He was the dad. So he's a prolific actor who's been in everything.
Yep.
But it's just a really dumb and stupid movie. But every time I watch it, I can't help but laugh.
Ping pong.
Yeah. And if it was a sport for Forrest Gump, it's a sport for us.
So, speaking of that real quick, actually, Forrest Gump.
Are you going to name Forrest Gump as an obscure sports movie?
I mean, it's got ping pong.
It's
He
got
plays
football.
football. He goes running. I mean,
Does
he's like
running.
a long distance runner.
So are we just reclassifying that as no longer a serious drama, but it's a
sports movie.
It's a serious sports
It's
drama.
a lesser known sports movie.
an anthology sports movie?
And then at the very end, because he had all that money, he cut that grass for free.
I mean, and fishing is on sports
Yeah.
networks now, and he was a shrimp
He
boat
he
captain.
was a commercial fisherman. He had a net and he was trailing it in the water. He
You ever
wasn't
seen
like
Deadliest Catch?
no,
Ooh.
but that's not a sport. That's a way of living.
It can be a sport.
What?
It can be a sport.
What you do is a sport. What he did was not a sport.
No, right. So we'll agree to disagree. It's an obscure sports
Told
movie.
you that story to tell you this story.
Football.
If Forrest Gump is allowed to be an obscure sports movie, then Ace Ventura: Pet Detective is allowed to be a documentary about the Miami Dolphins.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I thought it was.
Okay,
Yep.
then we're all on the same page.
Hello, the best dolphin ever.
All
Dan
right,
Marino
so-
was in it.
So technically, then
Another
Ace Ventura
obscure
is a
sports movie
yeah.
is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yes.
Welcome to the Movie Talks and Chill reclassification episode.
Yes.
But I like Balls of Fury too. I mean, Christopher Walken absolutely sells the
Oh,
fucking
100%.
when they're sitting there battling it out on the bridge. It's like, what is it talk? What do you mean? Was this some kind of thing? He never finished his training, and then he just stares at him. You have no backhand. It's like, all right, cool.
It's good stuff, man.
But Aisha Taylor's in it, and she does the blow dart.
Yep.
And oh man, I can't. It's Officer Dangle from Reno 911. He
Oh,
plays
yeah.
like the German guy who
Yep.
who defeated him in the Olympics. So they're about to have their match. She's like, no, I'm going to compete now. And then she hits him. He's like, oh, yeah, the blow dart in the neck.
But he's actually a really good comedian. I've seen him in a few things, and he is hilarious.
Oh, very much so.
But I didn't know
even
of
loved
him until Reno 911. But after that, I just started seeing him
Yeah,
in
wait,
everything.
Which one are you talking about? Which guy?
Lieutenant Dangle.
Trying to
He's the
think
guy who
who's-
wore like the hot pants in the show.
So he was the gay guy in I Love You Man.
Oh, so he started out in the State, that comedy sketch series on MTV.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Back in the 90s. That's how I got to. In fact, a lot of the guys from the State you'll see in movies now. What's his name? It's not something McKinnon. Thomas Lennon, I think, is his name. I think. Let's look it up.
We do have the power of the phone. But actually, let me look that up. Tony, what's your obscure sports movie?
Well, there's so many. I really wouldn't classify this as obscure to Canadians. Would be Slapshot. But a lot of people don't know that movie.
You're right. His name is Thomas Lennon.
Yep. I like him. You're a whore, Peter.
Yeah.
It's a taste of betrayal.
It was a taste of betrayal.
But no, Slapshot's just a funny hockey movie. I believe it was James Caan in it, if I remember correctly.
You have to tell us on that.
I think so.
It's been a while since I've seen it. It's been, that's why I'm bringing it up. So I almost forgot about it. But it's just your average run-of-the-mill hockey movie. But back then, there wasn't a lot of movies made about hockey. So this was more of a comedy, obviously, hence the name Slapshot.
Yeah.
But it's just
I mean, outside of the Mighty Ducks,
yeah.
that was kind of the big one. That one, and then the Miracle came.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But before that,
Yeah, before that was like-
Slapshot was like the '80s, I believe, if I remember correctly. But it's just a fun movie. But you mentioned one that you said you hadn't seen offline, and you said Basketball Diaries.
Yeah, Basketball Diaries.
That's a great
Leo
serious
DiCaprio.
drama. Yeah,
Okay.
Mark Wahlberg's in it. So they're in high school and they're play basketball. Their coach is kind of a fucking pervert. Sorry about the F-bomb, but whatever. I don't care.
Oh, this is the first time we've ever swore on the show.
I know. Hi, Mom. So they're playing basketball and they do drugs, but like not the good kind. They're like doing like whiffets or like huffing paint and gas and stuff just to get messed up because they're inner city kids.
Ooh, markers.
Yeah. Well, they're poor kids,
Yeah.
inner city kids, and they're trying to get I think one of them's on the cusp of getting like a scholarship for basketball. Coach is a real pervert guy, but they end up getting they basically quit school. Him, Mark Wahlberg, and their friend, who's kind of a nobody. I can't remember who that was in the movie at the time. But they get into stealing and doing drugs. Well, it goes down deep into how deep the rabbit hole goes of doing drugs. Because he gets really, really into it, and he basically loses everything and gets hooked on all that stuff, all that junk. And I believe it was either a guy that he knew kind of from the school, or just someone he knew on the streets as like a good friend. The guy takes him in and makes him detox. So he traps him in a room and makes him go through all the withdrawals and detox to help him, to kind of get him back on his feet, because he gets to a point where he's trying to steal from his mother. His mother kicks him out.
Oh, dang.
And I believe the mom was, what's her name?
Did they call him Motherfucker Jones?
I think his mother was, what's her name? Lorraine Bracco. I think that's her name. The one from, she was in Sopranos. She was Karen in Goodfellas.
Okay, yeah.
She was the wife Karen. Yeah, Lorraine Bracco.
Yeah.
So I believe that's the mother in it, and she's basically having to push him out of the house, even though it kills her to do it. But she knows he's just not. It's not going to help him. But he ends up basically straightening himself out at the end of the movie, and he loves poetry and writing and stuff, and he basically writes out all this stuff in these diaries in the end and reads them to people and stuff. So, but it's a dramatic movie. It's not one you're going to chuckle at it and be like, hey. Let's get the Twizzlers, or I'm sorry, Wiley Wallabies licorice. Wiley Wallabies, champagne of licorice. If you haven't tried
Wallaby, right next to the didgeridoo.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is, I wouldn't really consider it full on a sports movie. It's just basically has the sport in the title, but they do play basketball in the movie, so I guess yes. But then I guess you could consider Teen Wolf a sports movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Or Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah. Or any movie where they play the sport.
Crash. Well, probably any high school movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not obscure. Dazed and Confused could be considered a sports movie because
I think at this point everything could be considered. But let's stick to actual ones.
The whole movie is about football without ever seeing a game played.
Yep. Except for when they're high at the end of it. You know?
Yeah, well, they're on the field, yeah.
Yeah.
They run a couple plays.
So that would be my one, because I want to bring, since you brought it up, but I know you said you hadn't seen it. I forgot all about that one. So good movie. What about you, Gavin?
Well, there's one. It's about roller derby, and it starred an actress.
Not called roller derby.
Not called roller. Yeah.
It's about roller derby.
It's about roller derby. It's called Whip It. At the time, the actress was Elliot or Ellie
Ellen.
Page.
Ellen.
Was it Ellen?
Yeah.
I thought it was Ellie.
Well,
whatever.
That's
Elliot.
Now Elliot.
Now Elliot.
The artist
Page,
currently known as Elliot Page.
which is strange because now he wouldn't be able to do it because it's all girly. Anyway, but it was a really cool movie about a girl discovering she's in Texas, and she's just trying to discover her place, in life, and she ends up going to this. It's a backwoods roller derby league that's in Texas, and it's so funny. Like her dad gets so proud of her eventually. Well, her mom is actually trying to make her, be a lady and go through the courtship stuff of what is that, like junior league, or I don't know, whatever the ball thing that girls do, like some promenade thing or something.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I don't know. I'm not a girl. I didn't do it.
Exactly. So it's something where you're supposed to get in a dress and go to dinner and basically act like a lady, where she's not. I mean, it's not that she's not feminine. She just that's not her. But it's so cool that her dad lives. Of course, football is so big in Texas. His next door neighbor has these signs out, and he puts like his kid's name is like All-State nose tackle, blah blah blah, junior, and then like the other one is like a baseball player or something. So finally, her dad, who is the guy from he's the tall guy from the Home Alone series.
Daniel Stern.
Yeah, the crook.
Yeah, Daniel Stern.
And so he finally gets her number and puts like, I think she's like something forward or whatever, and starts staking it down in the front yard. And he's looking out there with his hat all proud, looks over at his buddy, he's like, neighbor. But it was so funny, like in the midst of it, it's that, where it doesn't, she doesn't want, or rather, she's hiding it from them because she's underage too. Yeah, I think you had to be 18 to be in the league, and she was still in high school. So they had to have a parent sign, and technically they never signed. Blah blah blah. So she kind of got ousted, and anyway, it's a cool movie.
Nice. I came up with one real quick. As I was scrolling through, I saw this, and it seems like something. The title's awesome. It's called Girls with Balls. Speaking of
like an updated version.
Elliot,
All right.
But you might actually like. I'm gonna read the quick caption, and you're gonna be like, I must see this
You mean
movie.
20% of girls in 2023?
Yeah. So here's the quick synopsis, and Patrick.
Is it a remake of A League of Their Own?
No. After their van breaks down in the middle of nowhere, the women of a volleyball team must fight for their lives against a group of degenerate hunters. Girls with balls.
Huh.
All right.
It's on Netflix now. If you've got a Netflix series, so everybody who has Netflix.
And here we go.
Hashtag not sponsored.
But the little picture of it is a bunch of girls standing on a knife.
Oh.
So I think that's
unique
rather nice.
advertising.
Yes, it's very good.
Well, actually, I wanted to talk about, so once again, now that we don't have to say peek behind the scenes, we're actually doing it on camera. We're looking at our phones. Just for like little reminders of movies that maybe we forgot of and all that. But I clicked on this one place and like unusual sports movies. So I'm going to read off the first few, and I want you to tell me if you guys think, have you heard of them
or not?
If these are unusual, or if you've heard of them, maybe they're obscure or something. Let's go for the list real quick.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Football.
Ready for the first one?
Yes.
Ready.
Field of Dreams.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Second one.
Not obscure. Have seen it, not obscure.
Second one, Moneyball.
Have seen it, not obscure.
Scene.
Tin Cup.
Have seen it, not obscure.
Yep.
Bull Durham.
Have seen it, not obscure.
Yep.
Rocky, Rudy, Caddyshack, $1 Million Baby. Raging
Repeat to
Bull.
all those, same
Yeah.
answer.
Yes.
So this website sucks ass. So never go to the Cheshire Library blog.
Yes, they,
I would say so. I would say Bull Durham is good, but my favorite outside of Field of Dreams, probably Kevin Costner movie would be For the Love of the Game.
okay. I thought you were
Well,
going
if
to
we're
say Tin
talking,
Cup.
are we talking baseball, or just any Kevin Costner sports movie?
Like as a dramatic, like underrated movie, I think that's probably his best one.
Okay. I mean, I do like it. Not gonna lie.
Because it's the whole time it's basically a guy pitching a perfect game,
Yeah.
and at the end of it, retiring.
I would.
I mean, spoilers.
Yeah.
He retires.
I mean, that's the thing is like he basically writes on the ball and passes it down to his coach. He's like, I quit for love of the game, because he knows that he basically just got bailed out of one of the best games he'll ever pitch, and he can feel like his arm going.
Yeah. Well, that's the movie too, where he was a pitcher in high school, and then he's trying to remember if he still has his stuff, and he throws the ball past the speed trap sign.
No. That's Dennis Quaid
Oh.
and the Rookie.
Oh, okay.
The Rookie.
And he actually got scouted by the Devil Rays.
the Rays.
No, it was the Devil Rays then.
Actually, P was in the store the other day, and he had like an original Devil Rays hat from back in the day. And I was like, "Damn, P, I want that hat."
Right? I miss
like,
the Devil Rays. The purple uniforms.
You're wearing $2,000 shoes. Let me get that $50 hat from you.
Exactly.
I'm going to bring up one because...
Is it Rookie of the Year? Because
No.
that's the movie I just thought of.
No, it's not Rookie of the Year. So we talked earlier offline about, surfing movies. I brought up Blue Crush. A lot of people still don't really know it, but there is a more obscure movie from the 80s about surfing.
Point Break.
Surfing is... Huh? No.
Point Break.
No, everybody knows that.
Surf Ninjas.
Took me
And
until
that's
I was
just an
30.
extreme sports movie, not a generalized
Took me
sports
until
movie.
I was 36 to see it.
This movie is called North Shore.
Okay.
You ever heard of it? And the plot is it's about this kid who goes into the surfing competition because he was the champion of surfing in
Northport.
Arizona.
Oh,
He was like a
the
tournament.
landlocked state.
yeah. High performance sport of big wave surfing. Rick Kane is a teenage surfer champion from Arizona. Arizona. I'm going to repeat this one more time to the camera. Teenage surfing champion from Arizona.
Well, I mean, maybe he was born in Arizona and then I really want to go surf, so he moved out to California.
No, he went to California after he won the championship
In
Arizona.
Okay.
So yeah, he was a champion surfer.
The big bad was the 3-time champ from Montana.
Don't forget about the guy from Oklahoma.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You know, actually, speaking of Oklahoma, their license plates, some of them say Oklahoma is okay. Completely side note, but
That's awesome.
says it on some of their license plates. That's a fact.
Oklahoma is okay.
Yeah. Surf champion, the capital of the world.
Sir, you don't say much, but when you do, it's to the point, and I salute you for it.
Okay, just to make sure that it wasn't like bordering some little part of the Pacific or the Gulf or something. No, this is 100% landlocked. He would have to drive 3 hours into Mexico to get to the nearest body
that's
of
what he
water.
probably
Is it
did.
2/3 of the state desert? Come on.
He was at a wave pool.
Yeah.
I mean, they got him here at Bill Jackson's. You can get up there and learn how to surf at Bill
that's true.
Jackson's.
I literally
That's
pulled
true.
up Google Maps just to make sure. No, yeah.
Hold up Google Maps.
Yep.
Why does it say the Dead Sea?
So the reason why I thought of that now is because we were just talking about that the other day with some of our friends, and we were discussing like obscure movies from the 80s, and that was one that popped into our. He's like, and I think it was Steve the brother. He was like, he's from Arizona, and I'm like, I forgot about that. He is from Arizona. So yes, watch North Shore. Actually, it's not bad, but so yeah, it's a good
Nice.
movie.
I just want to double check the name. Yes, so the one I'm thinking of, I may have mentioned this, but I don't know if we talked about it in our sports movies episode. But this one stars Sylvester Stallone, and I believe it is.
Don't say cliffhanger.
No, Kip Pardue. It's called Driven.
Okay.
So they're both Formula One drivers, and Kip is like the up and coming star, and Stallone's like the old guy on his way out. The one thing I love about this movie is one, there's an amazing crash in it, but two, to prove that they can still drive, they drive the Formula One cars in downtown LA. It's actually really cool.
Huh.
It's a really cool racing movie.
Isn't that Sylvester Stallone's character is nicknamed Hummer?
Something like
he
that.
hums as he's driving.
Well, I know the character's name is Joe, but that's about it. It's been so long since I've seen a movie, but I was looking at one of our reference sites, and it's like Days of Thunder. I was like, everybody knows that fucking movie. But oh wait, I know of one. Not too many people do. So if you haven't checked it out and you're really into Formula One, Driven with Sylvester Stallone, it's a really good one. I recommend it. The scene with the F1 cars in downtown LA reminds me a lot of the scene from The Rock with the Hummer and the Lamborghini in downtown San Francisco.
Yep.
It's just a really cool scene. It's a really good movie in general, but that scene just sticks with me forever.
Nice. Yeah, I was looking through some, but I can't really find a lot of obscure ones in this list. Kind of like how the list you just read us.
Moneyball.
So I have one that I haven't seen, but I think I will try to find because I don't know if it's gonna be full comedy or if it's gonna be like a back and forth of funny moments, but really more like a drama. Is Battle of the Sexes. So that's when so it's Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs in 1973.
Damn it, Bobby.
It was pivotal moment in the. It says it's pivotal moment in the feminist movement. Briggs was an eccentric public figure and bragged that a woman could never defeat him.
Ooh.
King accepted his challenge. So Billie Jean King, she accepted the challenge, and they had a tennis match.
Okay. Did they win?
So it's Steve Carell as Bobby Riggs.
Steve Carell?
And Emma Stone as Billie Jean King.
Oh, the movie's based in 19. It's
Yeah,
not,
it's
now,
based
okay,
in
when you started, I'm like, wait,
1970.
how old was Steve Carell in
it's
1979?
Based
How old
on the
is he now? He
1973
was an
tennis
adult in that
match.
movie.
It's like, oh, they're basing it in a time frame. I
Yeah,
gotcha now.
wait a minute.
Kurt Russell wasn't the real original coach in Miracle?
Fuck you. Of course he was. All right, I've got a pretty lesser known. Well, this was probably more well known in the early to late 90s when this movie first came out, and it was a pop culture reference in TV shows and movies. I remember Lawrence Fishburne actually mentioned it in one of his movies. He called the kid referencing this movie, but Searching for Bobby Fischer.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
I've only seen it
It's a
once.
chess champion.
Yeah. I only seen it once, and I saw it when I was a kid. It came out in '93, and I'm pretty sure I saw it before I hit high school. So that was in 2000 or 1999. So I wasn't that old. So I remember he was just like a savant chess player.
Okay.
And then my memory kind of stops. I know he wins the grand tournament at the end, I think, right?
I believe so. It's been, I think I saw that movie one time.
Yeah.
Back when it came out.
1993?
Like, on VHS. Or on HBO at the time.
VHS.
What was the one? Do you guys remember the name? Or
The Queen's Gambit.
Yep, sure. That, yeah, very good. How does he do that?
I don't know.
There was the movie, and I may have to look it up, but I know all about the movie. I can't remember the title of it, though. It was about the pro hockey player. Or I don't know if he was pro or he was semi-pro, but he was a hockey player. He ended up getting an injury. No, not
And he
Happy
has to go into figure skating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something hard or something. It was like Untamed Heart or something. Cause
Blades of Glory?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, but I came across Blades of Glory. That's what made me think of this one. But no, it was a really good movie. He ends up basically having to get, join this girl it's basically his only chance now to stay on the ice is to get into the Olympics. I think that's what it was. He was trying to get in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And she's an Olympic figure skater. It's real uppity, uptight,
The
rich
cutting
girl.
edge.
The cutting edge, that's what it was.
1992.
Yep. But they basically they hate each other because he's like a hardcore just city boy or something. Was a hockey player. Not I don't think he came up with a lot of means, and now he's stuck with this rich girl who's got everything. And so, but they basically have to learn to. He has to learn figure skating because he already knows how to skate, so he has to learn this and help her because it's a couples figure skating championship.
It's basically dancing on ice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so he's got to learn, of course, the usual story. They hate each other, but then they spend so much time together.
Are you sure this isn't Blades of Glory?
No, this is not Blades of Glory. It's not two men.
Yeah. That was the thing about the Blades of Glory it was two men. They got into the couples competition.
Oh yeah.
But there's a repeat thing she says to him to taunt him every time because he's so used to stopping on ice skates like a hockey player. But when you have figure skates, they're set up differently where they have this little toe pick thing on the front of the blade. And so that's how you stop it. He's trying to learn how to do it. So every time he messes up and falls trying to do it, she's like, "Don't pick." And there's something he does to her, or she messes up. Sometimes he walks by, he's like, "Toe pick," just to throw it back at her. But yes, that's
Basically, he said, "Bitch."
yep. But no, it's a really good movie. But I think the reason why he had to do it is I think he had an injury to his eye, and he didn't have full vision, so he couldn't pass to get back onto the league.
Yeah, I don't remember. I thought it was either that or maybe a concussion that
or a
took
concussion
him out.
or something. Yeah, but something happened to him where they
it was
basically weren't going to let him back
career-ending injury.
Yeah.
Nice.
But he could still skate.
Yeah.
He just couldn't have any contact. Don't touch me.
Speaking of Blades of Glory, I was rewatching Stargate Atlantis recently, and Ronan Dex.
That's a sport?
Yes. But Ronan Dex, played by Jason Momoa, he's been watching a lot of Earth movies because he's an alien in the show. He goes up to the commander and he's like, "That movie sucked. There was no fighting." He's like, "Well, it's about figure skating. It's about just dancing on ice." He's like, "Why is it called Blades of Glory then?" He's like, "Your planet's weird, man."
Touche.
I've got one that is actually. This one is obscure because it's a hidden gem of a movie too.
The Goods.
No.
Oh. But it is a hidden gem of a movie.
Yeah, but it's not really a sports movie unless selling cars is a sports movie. I mean, in used cars they may say that because they're competing, but so this one's about billiards.
Okay.
Pool. And it's called Pool Hall Junkies.
I've heard of it.
And it's a phenomenal movie.
It's where it stops.
If you can't find it anywhere, I do have the Blu-ray of it.
I still like The Color of Money.
I saw this movie. It came out so many years ago, probably like early 2000s, and I saw it. It was on like an on-demand thing or something that my friend had all the access to, and so I watched it, and I'm like, I've never heard of this movie. Watched it, and I was like, I love this movie. I went and found it at a video store and bought it. That's how much I liked it. Like after seeing it for the first time. So I was like, I got to see this again, but I'm not paying for it, and I'm not going to hang out with them all the time to keep coming over to watch it.
Yeah, to hell with them.
So, but it's Chaz Palminteri is in it. It's got Mars Callahan, Christopher Walken's in it. What's his name? The Michael.
Keaton.
No. The guy that played Lex Luthor in Smallville.
Michael Rosenbaum.
Rosenbaum, yeah. So it's Mars Callahan and Michael Rosenbaum are brothers. Michael Rosenbaum's the younger brother, and Mars Callahan's he wants to be a professional pool player. He's really good, and he's got a backer when he was younger. Was Chaz Palminteri. If any of you don't know him, he's usually a lot of times plays a bad guy in movies. He's like the Italian bad guy, and so he's backing him. He screws him over because he's trying to get into the actual You have to get invited to the pool competitions, and Chaz sees it. He gets invited, and basically, I can't remember his name in the movie, the backer's name, but he basically hides it from him, and because he wants him to just keep making money on the road, so he's basically hustling people all the time. Anyway, gets screwed over. He gets out of it. He's dating his girl that he's dating is this rich girl. He's kind of staying with her. He's working construction, odd jobs and stuff, but he can't stop not playing the game, and it upsets her because she wants him to quit. And it's Allison Eastwood, who's Clint Eastwood's daughter. She's in it. She plays the girlfriend, and so he ends up at a rich party because she's a paralegal. He ends up at one of her parties for the company at the head of the firm's house, and he meets her uncle. Unbeknownst to him, he doesn't know it's his uncle at first, and that's Christopher Walken, who's an ex-lawyer who's just rich now and retired, and he's got millions. So anyway, it's basically about them playing the game, and his younger brother, Michael Rosenbaum's character, and his friends are all into hustling people and stuff. Well, Michael Rosenbaum gets into a lot of trouble with Mars Callahan's old backer, and he's basically gonna kill him unless he gets money, and it busts up his hand. So he basically has the end thing is he has like one final round against him, and his competition that the backer picks to go against him is none other than Rick Schroeder from Silver Spoons. A grown-up Rick Schroeder that not many people have heard of since then, but he ends up playing him, and he's supposed to be a really good player. So he's got Chaz Palminteri's character is now backing Rick Schroeder's character to play against Mars Callahan's character, and then he's running out of money. They're trying to figure out, so Christopher Walken ends up coming in and saving the day with backing money up, but it's a lot of shit talking, and you get to learn a lot of the old school cons that people do.
And
It's like some of them are so old, but I actually ran into a situation. I was on a job in New Orleans around Mardi Gras time. Nolans. And this one guy comes up and he was a hustler and he was trying to pull this hustle on my friend, and I had known it anyway, but it was in this movie. And so I called him on it, and the guy's like, no, I'll walk away now, man. And the hustle is this. So if everybody wants to know what it is, so somebody says, I'll bet you whatever it is I'm going to bet you, I can tell you where you got your shoes. Would you bet me that? If I said, I'll bet you a round of drinks, I could tell you where you got your shoes.
Well, I mean, nowadays it's not the biggest hustle, Amazon.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
So you'd bet me a round of drinks?
Yeah.
I'd be like, nope. I'd be like, you got your shoes on your feet. I didn't say where you bought them. I said I could tell you where you got them. And right now you got your shoes on your feet.
That's bullshit.
That's a handshake bet, though. So that's an old con. So that got pulled on a buddy of mine in Nolans. And I was like, I saw the guy, I heard the thing. I'm like, dude, and the guy was about to bet him, the kid. He was a younger kid. And I'm like, oh, hang on a second. I was like, I'll let you bet him, but I want to make the same bet with you first. Only this time we're going to double the bet. So if you're betting him $100, I'll bet you $200. That I can tell you where you got your shoes on first, and I get to place my bet first. And the guy's like, no, I'm good, man. I'm like, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
But so hustles
the
like
fuck
that.
out of here.
So watch the movie Pool Hall Junkies. It is a very, very good movie.
Okay.
And
I
you
love
learn a lot
those-
about pool.
Well, nice. But I love those old like bar like hustle bets that you can make all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know a couple of them. Like
The Three Straws.
I don't know the Three Straws.
Well, I think
We'll save it for betting them later.
Yeah, oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Well, I'll tell you the two that I know of.
Okay.
Like one is I bet you $1. Like you order me a shot and I bet you $1 that I could drink that without touching it with my hands.
Oh yeah, and you put the glass in.
No. Basically, like, okay, so you just paid $5, or say you just paid $5 for a shot. I'm like, no, I do it with my hands. Like, oh, I lost the bet. Here's your $1 that I paid for that. Then you paid $5 for the shot. So I basically paid $1 for it.
Okay.
And the other one is like, I bet you, I'll get 2 Bud Lights and you can have 1 shot. And I bet I could finish both of these pints before you finish that 1 shot. The only thing is, you can't drink your shot until I finish my first. I put down the first beer, like it's empty, and I put it back on the bar. And you cannot touch my glass. So
So
what you do,
my glasses can't touch yours, and your glasses can't touch mine.
something like that. But also, you drink the beer and then you put it face down over the
Yep.
shot glass, and then you could just casually drink your drink.
Yep.
They cannot touch that shot glass.
So that one's in that movie too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what he does in the movie, he says basically, he's like, all right, I bet you I can drink my 2 glasses of beer before you can drink both your shots. He has 2. And he's like, but you gotta, so the guy has his 1 shot in his hand ready. And he's like, but I can't touch your glass, you can't touch mine. And you gotta let me at least finish my first beer before you do your first shot. So he says, go. So he finished the first beer. Guys goes shoot it, and he puts the glass over his other one. He's like, I can't touch your glass, you can't touch mine.
Oh.
And then you just casually sip your beer. Like 3 hours
Yep.
later, thank you. I'm done. Here, I'll let you do your shot.
Yes. But I'm
Children
glad.
lose the game.
So yes.
But back to sports movies.
Yes. Well, that was a sports movie.
That's true. But Ed from 1996.
Ed, I'm trying to remember
What?
which one was Ed.
Matthew McConaughey.
Nope. This one starts Matt LeBlanc.
Oh, that was Ed TV.
Matt LeBlanc.
Joey from
Yeah, I
Friends.
know
Yeah,
who
yeah,
it
we
is.
know who Matt
I'm
LeBlanc
trying to place a movie in 1996 besides Lost in Space, which was not good.
That was in 1998.
Well,
Look at those photos. Like this may have just before he got on the Friends or something, or
Was
just
it?
after.
It had to have been after,
it
because
had to
Friends
been
started
after.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like late 80s.
Wasn't that around the remake of Charlie's Angels
Yeah.
that he was in?
Yeah.
He played the boyfriend.
The
Yeah, but this
boyfriend.
is a baseball movie where a chimpanzee plays third base.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to watch that.
Gee, are we gonna go to Air Bud next?
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna bring it up,
There's only been 72 of them.
and this is another. This one actually has a couple of movies in it. Like this is pretty obscure. Like Ed, I forgot about that movie, or Air Bud, forgot about that movie. But the first one is Happy Gilmore,
Yeah.
I mean, but everyone's seen Happy Gilmore.
or Angels in the Outfield.
Not everybody's seen it, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody's seen
I
that
loved
one.
that movie when I was a kid.
No,
Or
it was a good
Space
movie.
Jam.
Okay, now you know.
Yeah, come on now.
Hey, don't yell at me. Yell at this list.
I'm not yelling at you.
You stupid list.
I'm yelling at LeBron for trying to be something he's not.
Yeah.
An actor.
No, the next Jordan.
Oh shit!
Bird.
He gonna find you.
That's fine.
He ain't gonna be.
And I've heard a comedian say he was like, I'll give you 3 reasons why why Jordan is better than LeBron, and he names off like these first 2. I can't even remember what they were, but the last one is, and lastly, who here has ever had anyone worried that someone was going to steal their LeBrons? They'll steal your Jordans. I was like, ooh, sick burn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they, Nike basically built an entire franchise around it. But anyway, it's no big deal.
Have you watched the movie yet?
I have.
Oh, okay. So I'm the
Very
only one
good.
who hasn't yet.
You son
I watched Ford versus Ferrari. That's a really good movie.
of a...
That is a good movie.
That is a good one.
Well, what about
That's a sports movie. It's racing.
That's true. They had to come out with the GT 500.
Yeah.
but it's not obscure.
I mean,
It's just new.
Yeah.
Well, that's new. All right, Days of Thunder.
That's
We already talked about that one. That one's more well known than Driven.
Yeah.
I already brought that up.
Yeah.
It's been discussed and dismissed.
Damn it!
Yeah.
I quit.
Like,
here's
like this episode or life?
Yes.
Well, so one that came out in the 90s that now a lot of kids would know, because back then it was made for kids. It's one of those, not Little Giants, but similar to that was Ladybugs, if you remember that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not a lot of people really
Wasn't that
know
John Candy?
No, Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah, that's what I meant to freaking say. But
Why'd
yeah,
you say?
I got no stuff.
And I think it was the kid from Sequest. And also
Yeah.
the Neverending Story 2.
I'm trying to remember his name. I know exactly what you're talking about. He had like the gills in Sequest.
Yeah, the guy who died,
Yeah.
killed himself.
Oh.
Died.
Well, now I'm sad.
How did you not know that?
Well, I don't know. Easily?
You just remember you just saw Sidekick and then remember not seeing him in any other movie after that?
Now I do. Well, damn, this episode just took a turn. Nonsense.
And you're welcome.
Let's talk about another obscure sports movie, Rudy.
That's not obscure.
Or
Greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Greatest sports movie ever.
I still like that there was a
Hoosiers.
couple years back there was a football
Hoosiers.
commercial.
Hoosiers.
It was like Joe Montana, Herschel Walker, and they're like, Joe, what are you doing? He's like, I'm watching Rudy. And they go over and it's just Sean Astin FaceTiming him. He's like, hi guys. He's like, that's not Rudy, it's Sean Astin. He goes, yeah, Rudy.
Rudy.
Well,
Repeat how you phrase that movie.
Which one?
again? The one that begins with an H.
Hoosiers.
He's like Hoosiers. That's Hoosiers, ladies and gentlemen. Hoosiers with Gene Hackman about
Yes.
the basketball team. Very good movie, not obscure. And it's called Hoosiers. Not
Never
Hoosiers.
heard of it.
That's not shocking to me.
Sorry, but I think The Replacements is a better Gene Hackman sports movie.
Oh, 100%. So, there's a pretty obscure movie just because it was so bad, not a lot of people have watched it. But it's also the third in the trilogy. Like, this is like Matrix 3 level bad movie. Major League Back to the Minors.
Oh, God.
It's the one that stars Scott Bakula, no Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't want to talk about it.
No, I heard what you said.
I can hear. My audibles are working.
I understand the council has reached a decision. Seeing as it has a stupid ass decision, I've chose to ignore it.
Now, I wish I could burn my eyes out so I don't have to look at you in utter disgust.
Want me to turn the camera?
Yeah,
It's a
please.
pretty obscure movie.
We'll put the color bars up.
Yeah.
Please stand by.
Do I just have to like drape my green screen on me? And
Yes.
you can just superimpose something, whatever you want from now on.
We'll use our mind to make them go away. Just put the green screen on. We'll do a dissolve.
Replay the men that stare at goats.
For all our listeners, help us concentrate. Concentrate. Make it go away.
Well, so
Do whatever you want. To.
Chroma key.
the
Chroma key.
chroma key. So one I had that was, I mean, I would say it's an obscure sport because not a lot of people follow it, and I know I don't unless the Olympics are up. But movie's called Stick It,
Okay.
and it's about the national competition of gymnastics
Okay.
down here. Jeff Bridges is the coach, and I really love it because they use a whole lot of Fall Out Boy music in it. But it's basically about this. It follows this girl who got out of the Olympic scene and as a punishment for community service, she ended up like damaging a house that her and her friends were going and doing like stunt bike stuff with and shit. So she got caught, and as community service, the judge made her go back into gymnastics.
Oh,
So it was a court order.
I'm court ordered to
So
do this.
I found a list on IMDb that said top 50 sports movies. And when I
Okay.
click into it, we're just clearly not trying. It says 1 through 50 are on this page, out of 5,663.
Oh dear God.
So there are a few other sports movies that we have not yet to talk
Yes.
about. So I'm actually going to scroll down and go to page 30 and see what's on
Yes.
there.
All right.
Yes.
While you're doing that, I'll bring up another one. Now, this one is obscure to people who are not into the sport, because now almost everything can be a sport, but the
Yeah.
game of poker.
Yeah.
So the movie Rounders.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah, that's the one with Matt Damon
Yep.
where he's
Edward
like
Norton.
addicted to
Edward
gambling.
Norton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I've seen
But
that
yeah,
movie.
that's great. And actually, I've heard, because I watched a documentary on it about the movie Rounders, and like
Oh, the
from all
Wizard
these
was on
profession-
here.
Is it?
Yeah, page 5.
And they all said that it's probably, to them as professional poker players, he's like, it's probably the most accurate
Yeah.
portrayal of what actually goes on. You know, because they all do their side hustles. They're professional, but then
Yeah.
they do their side hustle stuff. So
Yeah, the $1 million jackpot in Vegas only lasts you so long.
yeah.
Well, they still now they have.
And plus, they're still addicted to that rush. Like, I gotta keep playing, gotta keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have tournaments all over the place. I mean, even the Hard Rock has a tournament every other month or so almost.
Yep.
Of like
Yeah, we know at
the
least
amateur
one person
players.
that goes down there for that every
Yep.
month. And that's not a cheap buy-in either. It's a couple of grand at least.
I would say probably like closer to 20.
Really? I didn't know it was that much.
Those big games, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually it's like a certain amount to sit in, and a couple grand ain't gonna cut it, because those guys are looking to win
probably
probably
like-
a couple $100,000. So
Exactly.
Okay,
is
so
the scrolling going good?
well, I'm in 451 through 500, and I'm just looking at these. Like, these are wildly obscure. Like
Give us some.
Goal 2, Living the Dream. When Newcastle United soccer star Santiago Munez is offered the spot with the Real Madrid, he accepts, but the move, accompanied by the big money and fame, tests his ties and loyalties to his friends, family, and business acquaintances.
Oh, nice.
Or Bloodsport 2, More Blood.
Oh dear God.
Why don't you
That's
just bring
a-
up Major League 3 again? You know?
Yeah. Blood sport 2, back in the habit.
Yeah.
Or Jesus.
Yeah, the obscure ones can't. I don't really want to count.
North
like,
Face is
the
on this
shitty
one.
sequels to
Yeah,
movies.
yeah, that's,
the direct-to-video shitty sequel versions of original.
Cracker Jack about lawn bowling.
Okay,
Ooh.
I'll give you that one.
That came out in 2002.
I might watch that.
When dwindling memberships and increasing overheads make a local bowling club the prime candidate for a takeover, it's all hands on deck to save the club in what turns out to be an epic battle. I mean, I don't know how epic a battle could be when it's lawn bowling. I'm looking at the photo like it may actually be actual bowling, but they're wearing like sweater vests, long sleeve shirts, and they're out on what looks like a lawn. So
There's got to be a sports movie about fucking curling.
What if there was a?
Yeah.
What if it was kind of like a Squid Game type of thing, where it's like if you don't play by the exact rules, you get
Ooh.
shot in the head or something?
Yeah.
That would be intense.
Bikini beach race. That's a
Okay.
thing.
I mean, we'll go
There
with it.
is a movie about curling. It's called Men with Brooms.
Awesome.
2002.
Is it a documentary?
I
Or is it?
have no idea.
I would watch that.
I didn't know there
love
was a
curling.
sequel to this movie.
Which one?
Bench Warmers. So there's Bench Warmers 2, Breaking Balls.
Guarantee you that's direct to video.
Probably. It stars John Lovitz. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean much. I mean,
Well, he's a pretty... You'd think he would be above something like that.
yeah, you would think. No, actually, John Lovitz, man, he'll basically do anything. I mean, he plays in, he never really got like a big role, if I remember correctly.
It looks like Leslie Nielsen is the coach
In which one? Which
in this, The Men with Brooms.
Okay, well, that's awesome
That
too.
that tells you everything
Yes,
you need to know
yep.
about the movie.
Oh, it's not a documentary.
No,
it's a
mockumentary.
mockumentary. Although I wish that's not a bad. Maybe we should do a movie about curling. I love curling.
I thought it was interesting in the 1 year in the Olympics when it first debuted. That's about it.
Oh, what about
We
the
could do
ones?
it. We could do it drunken curling.
Yeah, right.
You have to chug a White Claw before you throw.
That'll work. It'll work real well in Florida. We'll be so wasted. Is that ice? Yeah, fucking go.
I got it. I got this.
Face plant on asphalt.
Here's one that could be considered obscure for a lot of people nowadays.
Is it called
In the
Saint
80s.
Ralph?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's called Over the Top.
Oh, not Requiem for a
sounds familiar.
Heavyweight.
Sylvester Stallone picks up his kid. They were estranged with the truck driver, the arm wrestling movie.
Oh yeah.
And he always places his hand over the thumb of the person to crush it to make him win the game. That's why it was called Over the Top. Yeah, yeah.
I remember that.
Technically, he was going to a tournament. He was
Yeah.
going to an arm wrestling tournament,
That's right.
and the winner or the
Wasn't
prize
his name
was,
like Hawk or something like that?
it might have been. I can't
Oh.
remember his actual character's name, but I remember his son was like, he was estranged from him, so he picks him up to go on this trip, and the son's kind of like just a little scrawny kid, and so he basically learns a lot about the game and about the sport with his father. But the grand prize was
Men's
winning
with
a
brooms.
Men's
It's
with-
50,
Men's
50 through 51.
So yeah, watch that movie, Over the Top.
No, I'm sorry, 51 through 600 because it's number 594.
Well, I guess.
All right.
I guess I know what I'm searching for today. Men with brooms.
Men with brooms.
If you've seen
Just
Men
don't
with
try to
Brooms,
just
let
don't
us
try to
know
search
on
it on browsers.
Yeah, all right.
That's a different movie.
That's a different movie.
If you've seen Men with Brooms, the actual movie, please let us know on our social media before Gavin wastes an hour and a half of his life.
So look what on my list under sports thrillers.
Trust me, that's every day.
Pool Hall Junkies came up under sports thrillers. I really wouldn't consider that a
Sports
thriller.
thrillers.
What about a movie called... Oh, well, that's Japanese. I can't pronounce. Strong Enough? Starring Ashley Giroux. Oh, wow. Yeah, never heard of you.
No idea.
Next.
Extreme Days. All one word. It's got a 17 Metascore.
17 minutes.
Wow.
Well, there is a movie that's, if you include cheerleading as a sport. I mean, I guess if you're gonna do gymnastics, you can do cheerleading. Of course, everyone's seen Bring It On, but I would say the one that's just as good and not many people have seen is Fired Up.
Okay, I've heard of it.
Oh god, it's so funny. So they're on it's two guys who skip football camp to go to cheerleading camp because they want to hook up with every single girl there. And so they're like, yeah, we're gonna have fun and blah blah blah. And so then they get on the bus and they're like, oh shit. They do cheers the entire way there, but they finally get there and there's like all the hot girls out there. They're like, did we die? He's like, no. We would have heard we are crashing. We are crashing.
Looking at this movie poster, does that remind you of any other movie?
No. Yes. I have not seen
Bend
it.
it like Beckham?
Fault in Our Stars.
Oh God! Oh! Why you gotta send my brain there? I was having a good day.
Yeah.
Damn you, Patrick.
Well, somebody owes The Fault in Our Stars a lot of money. That French film ripped off that movie poster.
That's true.
Oh, it's the French.
Yeah, there wasn't a soccer ball in it, so you can't have.
Oh, that's true.
Blah,
There was an
blah.
oxygen tank.
Yeah,
They were dying.
exactly. Two
cancer.
of them.
Yeah.
So what else is on your list there? Because I'm kind of running.
The shiny shrimps.
The shiny shrimps. All right.
Matthias the Goth is an Olympic champion, makes a homophobic statement on TV. His punishment is to coach the Shiny Shrimps, an amateur gay water polo team. They have only one thing in mind: to qualify for the gay games in Croatia.
The gay games in Croatia.
Hi.
I'm assuming this is a foreign film.
You guys savage.
I mean, it could be domestic. Who knows?
Is it domestic or foreign?
I'm surprised that you haven't mentioned Death Race, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick.
It's. Well, I'm trying to figure out if this is a domestic or a foreign film, and I want to say this is foreign, but like made in England kind of form. So it's all in English, but they say in cinemas September 6th. We don't say cinemas in the States. We say theaters.
I do
cinemas
like.
is a British term.
I do, and I know it's a TV show, but Twisted Metal would definitely be in the running.
Season 2 might be.
Season 2, right? The actual tournament.
Yeah.
Here's another one a lot of people forgot about from the 80s.
Bennett's War.
Lucas.
Why do I know that name?
I don't think I've seen that one.
I've
That
heard of
one
it.
was Corey Haim. when he's younger. It's got the girl from the Goonies, the redhead girl. I can't remember her name, but he wants to play football. It's kind of like an earlier version or high school version of Rudy, where he's trying to impress her, so he's trying to get on the football team, but he's scrawny and tiny, and everybody messes with him the whole time. And basically he has a Rudy ending where they give him a jersey because they let him play, and he ends up getting severely hurt. Like almost hospitalized type hurt, but he gains the respect of all the high school kids. But the whole thing is and it's Charlie Sheen's in it, the young Charlie Sheen. So he's dating the redhead girl, but Lucas is obsessed with her, is in love with her because he's like a freshman. I think she's like a senior or something. And
young love.
But they play. It's just all the guys playing pranks on him the whole time. But it can be a fun movie. There's one thing where they take him to put this like icy hot stuff on his junk.
Yeah, don't they do that in The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler?
No, they do it in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're all sitting on the field. They're like, yeah! And they run off, and John Goodman's like, holy shit, we forgot to practice.
Yep. But if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a good version. It's a good little movie. I forgot all about that one.
Well, here's one that'll tug at your heartstrings. Fast and Feel Love.
That does not tug at my heartstrings.
When a world champion of sports stacking is dumped by his longtime girlfriend, he has to learn basic adulting skills in order to live alone and take care of himself.
That does not sound...
Sports stacking. They'll make a movie about anything these days.
All right, well...
That is a movie.
That came out in 2019.
Not
like 2002 when sports stacking was a thing.
They got men with brooms, so... All right, so we get a little bit of time left here, so can you... find any other fun, really
you didn't like the
ones?
sports stacking one?
I did not like sports stacking, no. Let's find something better than that. You're better than that.
Yeah.
Ernest Goes to School. That's technically on this
Wow.
list. Does he play sport in that movie?
I don't remember him ever playing a sport in any of his movies.
Well, he was playing catch with the Halloween one because he thought they were big Brussels sprouts falling from the tree.
With the Milak
Yeah.
to stop the ghoul things. It's milk, Ernest.
It's the Miak.
Milak. Milak. They got Milak.
7-10 split. An aspiring actor whose career is in the dumps exploits his amazing bowling skills to take the PBA by storm and become rich and famous, only to lose his best girl and best friend. Stars Tara Reid, so that's exactly all you need to know about it.
All right.
Well, there's the golf movie, The Greatest Game Ever Played. With
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yep.
I don't think there's a lot of people that... I mean, the story is really great, but I didn't even know it was a Disney movie when it came out. But that's how he got the role was, he was in a lot of...
He was in Even Stevens back
He was
then.
in Even Stevens, Holes.
Yeah.
He was Disney star.
It's a Disney, man.
It's a Disney movie. But it's about, the amateur coming on and winning the U.S. Open.
Oh, the BMX Bandits. Forgot about that one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, who can forget the classic 2005 movie Iqbal?
What?
Iqbal, I-Q-B-A-L. Iqbal. I had a doctor with that last name.
IQBAL?
Iqbal? Dr. Iqbal?
Mm-hmm.
What was he, a
Iqbal,
proctologist?
the deaf and mute son of a farmer, has a passion for the game of cricket and seeks the tutelage of a washed-up alcoholic ex-player. This is like a cricket version of Cool Runnings.
I was just about to say that. This is like almost like Cool Runnings. Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's bobsled time. Coach, would you kiss my lucky egg?
Sanka, you dead, Mom?
Yeah, man. You can pee now. Too late.
All right, how about Cloud 9, starring Burt Reynolds in 2006? A washed-out former star in need of money has a get-rich-quick plan. Start a volleyball team whose players consist of a group of beautiful athletic strippers.
I'd watch that. Kurt Russell, you say?
It is rated R.
What's the one with him and Robin Williams where they get the football gang back together and they try to...
Well, that's Tommy's Honor. You didn't know that?
Who in Robin Williams?
Kurt Russell and Robin Williams when they try to get the high school team back together to do they replay that senior game.
Oh, the one, yeah. God, what we talked about this
We did
a while back. I can't remember.
It was like, because when we were covering Kurt Russell, and we were like, what the hell has Robin Williams done with Kurt Russell? Because it was like right in the middle of the 80s.
Yeah.
How much time we got left? I got one more.
One more.
Yeah, because we got a couple minutes left.
Uno
The
mas.
Calcium Kid.
Oh, God.
Following a bizarre series of events, Jimmy, a local amateur boxer, finds himself pitted in a match against a world champion. That's all there is to that summary. Don't know why it's calcium. Maybe he drank a lot of milk. Maybe his bones are calcified and they're strong as steel. Like, who knows? But, I mean, it's got to be better than If I Had Wings. When a policeman father gets a repeat juvie offender to be a cross-country running partner for his blind high school son.
Okay.
Or, there's 108 Stitches, which is a baseball movie, because that's how many stitches are on a baseball. I already know that. Bad movie.
So speaking of direct-to-video, Blue Crush 2. However, it is Surfer Girls that are still hot. In the second one, I might watch that.
But
I mean, this DVD.
This time they're going to South Africa to surf.
Ooh.
So it's a completely different plot
Even
line.
hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely different plot line.
Totally different plot line.
The waves spin different.
Yes.
But you're forgetting about Sumo Do, Sumo Don't, chronicling the turmoil and pandemonium that ensues at a derelict university sumo club and the rise of some unlikely heroes.
Okay. So with that in mind, we are running out of time now.
Can we include bad words in this?
Yes. Beer Fest.
It's a competition, right?
But as long
Beer
as
Fest
you go
is
home
competition.
today and watch Blue the American Dream,
Okay.
number 847.
All right. I will lie and say I did.
Like I do every
I'll look
week.
it up on Wikipedia, give you the whole synopsis, and they'll be like, yeah, it was a great
Yeah,
movie.
I guess I got to figure out where the hell Men with Brooms is.
Oh, but
All
that...
you gotta do is skip that one 0 to hero. All right, I swear to God, I'm
There you
done.
go. Yes. Put it
Or
down.
5,000
Put it
at
down,
least.
Patrick. But that is, we are out of time, though, guys. So thank you all so much for joining us with obscure sports movies.
Yeah,
and
we found some really obscure ones.
Yes,
at the
we
end.
did.
Almost as obscure as us.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So,
But we're hoping to not to be obscure anymore.
That's
so
right.
please tell your friends and family and hit that subscribe button on Spotify. We would love it on YouTube, but once again, not pushing it too much right now. Spotify is what we need.
Yes.
We genuinely appreciate any likes, subscribes, comments. It all helps the algorithm, and we really appreciate your support.
Yep. And don't forget, if you want to see us, check us out up on YouTube. And then also coming soon, we don't have the official date yet, but
Elevation TV.
Elevation TV, Elevation Movies film group. So we'll be on one of the Roku channels on there. Coming soon, we're all set to go. We're just waiting for them to finalize the items and get it launched out, but we will keep you up to date on that. But until then, for Movie
and
Talks...
also, wait.
Okay,
If-
calm down.
If they have any obscure sports movies that we didn't mention, please
Yep.
let us know. Unless it's The Hammer from 2010, starring Russell Harvard.
All right, guys.
That one we know about.
Until next time, for Movie Talks Show, we are your hosts. I'm Tony Serrato.
I'm Gavin Butts.
I'm Kevin Dillon from Dirt.
All right. Take care.